We all have a voice, and it's time we use it. The conversation we need is one of honesty, vulnerability, and healing. The world needs more voices willing to speak the truth, even when it's hard. I'm ready to be one of those voices, starting today. Our silence only makes us feel more alone. But when we speak, we realize that we are connected by our shared humanity and our shared truths. I've spent too many days feeling stuck in my own thoughts. It's time to let those thoughts out and allow myself the freedom to be heard. There's a power in being vulnerable that most of us don't realize. By speaking our truth, we invite others to share theirs, and together we become stronger. I'm no longer afraid of what others might think. It's time to let go of that fear and embrace the power of speaking out. The conversation we need is one that's real and raw. It's not about perfection. It's about connection, understanding, and healing. I've hidden parts of myself for far too long, but now I'm ready to show up fully and speak from the heart. No more holding back. When we hide from our feelings, we only prolong our suffering. It's time to let the conversation flow and allow ourselves to be free. The most powerful thing we can do for ourselves and others is to speak up. When we share our stories, we remind each other that we are not alone. I've spent too many years worrying about how I'll be perceived, but I've come to realize that my truth is the only thing that matters now. We are all waiting for the right moment to speak our truth. But the truth is, the right moment is always now. Let's stop holding back. It's time to stop pretending that everything is okay when it's not. The conversation we need to have is one that allows us to heal and grow together. Every time I've stayed silent, I've robbed myself of the opportunity to truly connect with others. Today, I choose to speak my truth no matter what. There's a beauty in vulnerability that we often overlook. By letting down our walls, we give others permission to do the same. I've been waiting for a perfect time to speak, but I've learned that perfection is overrated. The truth, however, is always timely. Sometimes the conversation we're most afraid of is the one we need the most. It's time to break the silence and embrace the healing that comes with it. We all hold back, thinking that silence is safer. But in reality, it's only in speaking up that we truly find peace. I've kept so many feelings locked away, but today I'm ready to let them out. The truth is waiting, and I won't hold it back any longer. The conversation we need isn't about being right. It's about being honest and compassionate with each other. It's time we have that conversation. The truth is always there, waiting to be spoken. We only need to find the courage to voice it. Our silence can be a prison, but speaking up can set us free. It's time to break the chains and have the conversation we've been avoiding. I'm tired of hiding behind my fears and doubts. It's time to show up as my true self, with all my thoughts and feelings laid bare. We often think that holding back will protect us, but in reality, it only leaves us feeling incomplete. It's time to speak out and finally feel whole. The hardest part isn't saying what's on your mind. It's overcoming the fear of judgment. But when you do, you realize that the fear was the only thing holding you back. Today, I choose to speak what's on my heart, no matter how difficult it may be. The world deserves to hear our truths. The conversation we need isn't just about the words we speak, but the emotions we share. It's about connecting on a deeper level. I've been afraid to speak my truth, but I've realized that silence doesn't heal. It just keeps us stuck. Today, I'm choosing to let my voice be heard. The truth is a gift we often take for granted, but when we share it, we open doors to understanding, compassion, and healing. I've spent too many days feeling disconnected from myself and others. It's time to speak up and create the connection we all need. Sometimes, the hardest part isn't expressing what's inside, but realizing how long you've kept it hidden. The truth inside me has been waiting for the right moment, and that moment is now. I've been silent for too long, not because I didn't have something to say, but because I feared what the world would think. Now, I realize that the most powerful thing I can do is speak my truth without fear. It's time to stop pretending that everything is okay when it's not. The conversation we need is one that breaks the silence and embraces vulnerability, allowing us to heal and grow. We all hold back pieces of ourselves, afraid that sharing them will expose our flaws. But when we open up, we show others that it's okay to be imperfect and still worthy of love and acceptance. There's a place where silence becomes a cage, trapping your thoughts and feelings inside. But the moment you decide to speak up, you break free and allow your true self to emerge. In the quietest moments, I've often felt the loudest thoughts. It's like the world is waiting for us to share what we've been holding back, and I'm ready to do just that. We wait for the perfect time to speak, but the truth is, the perfect time is now. There's no reason to keep pretending anymore. The conversation we've been avoiding is the one we need to have. It's not about being heard. It's about being understood. Sometimes we hold back because we fear others won't understand our struggles. But today, I choose to speak, no matter what. The weight of unspoken words is heavier than any burden, It's time to lift that weight and let the truth flow freely, even if it means taking a step into the unknown. We've all been afraid to express our deepest thoughts, but when we do, we realize that we are not alone in our feelings. The conversation we need is the one that unites us, not divides us. What if the things we're afraid to say are the very things that could change everything? The conversation we've been avoiding holds the power to shift our perspectives and bring healing. There's a beauty in honesty that cannot be denied. When we speak from the heart, we connect with others in a way that silence never could. Sometimes the hardest thing is not speaking your mind, but letting go of the fear that holds you back. Today, I choose to release that fear and share what's been weighing on my heart. I've been carrying around so many unspoken thoughts, hoping for a moment when it would be okay to let them out. Today, I am letting go of that hesitation and finally speaking what's been on my heart. The truth has been patiently waiting to be heard, and so have I. But now, I realize that the world is waiting for my voice, too. We often keep things inside because we don't want to burden others, but I've learned that sharing what we carry can be the greatest gift we can give, not just to others, but to ourselves. There comes a time when you realize that holding back isn't protecting anyone. The real strength lies in speaking up, even when it feels terrifying. It's amazing how much peace comes when you finally decide to stop hiding from your truth. What's been inside for so long can finally breathe. The truth doesn't need to be perfect, and neither do we. It just needs to be spoken, no matter how messy or raw it may feel. I've spent so much time wondering if anyone would understand me, but now I realize that it's not about being understood, it's about being authentic. The silence that we hold between us only keeps us stuck. Once we decide to have the conversation, everything changes: our connection, our understanding, and our growth. I've kept so much inside, but today I choose to let it out. The things we fear to say are often the ones that need to be said the most. Our thoughts and feelings deserve a voice, even if they seem chaotic or unclear. There is no better time than now to finally let them be heard. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply speak up. The conversation we've been avoiding is the one that will set us free. There's a power in speaking from the heart, even if it scares us. When we speak our truth, we invite others to do the same. We often think we're alone in our struggles, but the moment we speak out, we realize that others have been feeling the same way all along. We're all carrying pieces of ourselves that we don't share with the world. But when we open up, we find a sense of freedom that we didn't even know we needed. I've been holding back because I didn't want to cause conflict, but I now see that true peace comes when we address what's been left unsaid. Every time I've kept quiet, I've lost a little bit of myself. But today, I'm ready to speak out, no matter the consequences. There is nothing more freeing than finally releasing the words you've been holding back. The weight is lifted and the truth shines through.